What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, SplinterPOV. Shout out to the joiners, shout out to the point of view crew, and trip on this. The merchandise is up. Drum roll, please. Brrr. The merchandise is up. There should be a pop down tab right there as you watch this video. And I gotta say, I might be a little biased, but I'm in love with it. I love it. Shout out to Dave 1503. He really came through. I mean, he's been hammering and hashing out these designs and working on them and shading them just right and getting the angle for a couple months now. Shout out to Green Eye Gemini for all your hard work, getting the designs all figured out and setting up the Teespring account, which you know is no easy task. So it's there, it's available. I'm in love with it. I told Santa Claus straight up when he asked me, Splinter, what do you want for Christmas? SplinterPOV merch. So I had wanted to do a video detailing and outlining the Oregon trip. Going to Oregon, meeting Derek, getting the car. I want to do a whole video addressing that, but I feel like I pretty much covered it in the last couple lives. Basically, I pretty much did. All I want to know, though, is where's Homegirl at? Where's Homegirl who said that the car wouldn't make it? It's not a homegirl at all. It's a dude. Some dude said to me, the car ain't gonna make it. And I said, oh yeah, homegirl, how long you been a mechanic? And he got heated. You know how I know he got heated? Because he told me, what? Call me homegirl? Ah! And he went up on this big rant. He was calling me everything under the sun. And I was just like, snicker, snicker. But where's that dude at? Where you at, homegirl? The car made it. Made it through 3 mountain ranges. And let me say this. Derek did not give me the car. He gave me a great deal on it. I paid a down payment. And I'll be making monthly payments. But got some trolls came at me too. Some guy said, I literally laughed out loud. I thought it was so funny. I told him thank you. I was like, dude, thank you for this commentary you have with me, because it started off saying, I wish someone would give me a car on this and that, this and that. And I said, look, no one's giving me a car, homeboy. I'm getting a good deal from one of my best friends. No one's giving me a car. Then he talks some more smack, and then he ends it with, well, I don't know, everybody wants something for free these days. I was like, bro, you started this whole thing off by saying you wish someone would give you a car, and you're ending it with, everybody wants something for free. Dang. Bring. Hey, pot, this is kettle. You're black, folio. So, now we got that all the way. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Getting that out of here. Oh, wait, hold up. I'm here. I'm back with the ride. Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Angie. But, bro, Green Eye Gemini and myself underestimated. We grossly miscalculated. We were under the assumption, the false assumption, we'd be able to sleep on the train. I for sure thought I would sleep on the train because I left it Friday and I worked Friday. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Was at work by 6. Got up at 2. Worked a full 8 hours. Rushed home. Finished packing. Got on Uber. Went to the train station. Got on a 3:30 train to the Bay Area. Got there about 9 o'clock. I was kind of tired on that train ride. Stayed up though. Boom. Got off. Rendezvous with Green Eye Gemini. Got on a separate train. Start smashing out to Oregon. Now about midnight. We've been on the second train for about 3 hours. I'm starting to unwind. I'm thinking I could sleep on this train. That's what I'm thinking. And the thing about it is the chairs do recline quite a bit too. But at what cost? Because, I mean, you don't want to be rude. You could recline it and put it in the person behind you's lap. But is that cool? One thing about prison will teach you respect. One thing about a convict is not going to recline their seat all the way to where it's in the person behind there's a lap. It's disrespectful. So I, put as much as I could, and I got my thing, and I'm thinking I get comfortable. And right around 1:30, as I actually did kind of get comfortable, start to doze off, I hear this. It's dark on the train. It's quiet until this. For a long time, too. And I jumped up. I was like, well, Kris, I'll put my earplugs on then. I did have earplugs. I put them on. I was still hearing this. And I was like, the nerve of the person to create that kind of racket. So then it's about that time I start thinking, dang, I'm not going to be able to sleep on this train. Snarf, snarf. I even went to a different section. They have it called the sightseeing section. It's all these like benches, and instead of the walls of the train, you have like the walls are made of glass. You can sit at a bench and look out the beautiful scenery. It's called the scenery car, and I thought I would go there. And let Green Eye Gemini, Jen, had the R2 seats to kind of stretch out and do what she needed to do with, hopefully get some sleep. I went down there, grabbed a bench, and so I was like, I did this for like a couple hours. didn't kind of, came back to my assigned seat about 5:36 in the morning, been up all night. Then I really started to get kind of comfortable. And the dude next to me, I had noticed him. I always noticed my surroundings. My first impression was a straight up vato loco. He had a beanie on low, he had a hoodie on, he had a jacket, he had a button-up Pendleton, he had some Dickies, he had some boots on. I thought straight up vato loco. So he was sitting next to me. So I came back from the scenic car, trying to get comfortable on the bench, came back to my assigned seat, green-eyed Jim, and I told her, "Do you sleep?" She's like, "No, not really. It's like 6:30, 6 o'clock, trying to get comfortable." And all of a sudden, the dude next to me, the vato loco, turns on his radio, turns on his phone, real loud, some radio. And I go, "Hey! You turn that down?" And he's like, "Yeah." I didn't mean to snap and go as loud as I did, but I felt like I was on pins and needles, man. It'd been like brewing ever since 3:30 when I caught that Uber to the train station. I've been trying to relax and chill. Never could do it. Every time I thought I was going to get comfortable, something like this pops up, or a crying kid, or someone trying to get some water with it out of the water spigot with their cup, and it was this, and then finally at 6 a.m. it was kind of like an head on my head, "Hey, turn that down." And I felt maybe I was a little bit harsh. He goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, thank you." Then a couple hours later, man, about lunchtime, noon, I'm walking around. I notice an old man in front of me taking the stairs down to, they have like a little cafe cart down there. You can get sodas and some nasty ass hard-boiled eggs and some brown bananas, that sort of thing. An old man in front of me. He's walking real slow. I actually help him. I grab one of his arms. I'm like, "Hey, sir," and I help him down because he's old and he's feeble. And as I help him down the bottom of the stairs, I look at him. It's that dude next to me. It's a dude that I barked at. I couldn't believe it. It's a dude that I said, "Hey, turn that down." It was this old, feeble old man who needed help. Gray hair, slunched over, walking like this. I couldn't believe it, man. I barked at that dude, and I would have never had I known. But hey, he was just all gangstered out. "Hey, bro, nice clothes." I pat him on the back. I offered, "Hey, can I buy your coffee?" So, hey, I felt bad about that. But trip on this. Story kind of goes right along with it. And I've always wanted to tell this story, and I never have because I didn't know if I'd get judged. But I had this girlfriend, an ex-old lady. She had an uncle who was off just a tad. Because what happened to him was he was smelling, he was huffing like paint. I think it was oven cleaner. He had oven cleaner on a rag. And they'd huff it back in the day, trying to get high. And what did made him lose consciousness. He was a teenager. And he fell down. When he fell down, the rag stayed by his nose. And so he continued to inhale it while he was unconscious. It killed some brain cells and messed him up just a tiny bit to where he walks a little bit different and you can't really understand him. But as far as his mind, he's sharp as a tack. He is bright. His elevator goes all the way to the top. He ain't lacking at all. He's all the way with the business. He knows what time it is. He's with it. He drinks every day. He uses. And when you're sitting there using, he'll walk up and go like this to you, wanting you to inject him. He's a gangster. He just can't talk all that well, and he can't walk all that well. He developed a straight hatred for me. Hatred. Hatred. Because one night, I was at my old lady's house, who lives with her grandma and grandpa. This guy is her uncle, so it's their son, and he was flipping out. He was this nut roll. Flipping out, knocking stuff off the walls, knocking stuff down, superhuman strength, knocking the lazy boy over, doing this, doing that. It was grandma, grandpa, my old lady, and me. And they're like, "Splinter, grab him." I go, "What do you mean? Grab him, control him. We have to get his medication in his mouth. He's like lost it. He's out of control. Help contain him. Help us." So at their request, it was so off the hook and wild, I did grab him. Softly, but I contained him best I could. I wasn't rude. I wasn't trying to be uncomfortable to him. I was talking smoothly. Nice, quiet voice. "Hey, calm down. It's going to be okay, bro. Everything's going to be okay." I had him hemmed up. They put some medication in his mouth. He calmed down. And after that, he hated me. Every time he seen me, he would throw stuff at me. He would cuss at me. He would try to hit me. He would try to attack me. And it's like, dude, for what? Like, I don't have a dog in the fight, homeboy. It means nothing to me. You could have tore the whole house up if you wanted to. Just at the request of grandma and grandpa, like, subdued you just to help the situation. You took it personal. What? He would always come after me. So one day, I guess it should be no surprise. Grandma and grandpa live right here. Let's say her dad lives over here in a cul-de-sac. So if you're at dad's house in the front yard, grandma and grandpa over here can see. You can see from grandma and grandpa's house, from their backyard, to dad's house lives in this cul-de-sac. I was over there in the front yard. Now, when you're at grandma and grandpa's house looking at this house, you can't see people on the porch. My ex-girlfriend, her dad, some people were on the porch. I was in the front yard standing there. The uncle brother came out of nowhere, didn't even see him. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. He's already drinking, had a bottle of beer. Comes from behind me, hits me in the back of the head with the beer bottle. Don't hit me all that good. Mostly just spills a lot of alcohol on me. I feel the wetness. I back up. I was like, oh, what the hell? I tell him how they heard dad, like, get him. They're telling him, stop. You're not going to be allowed to come over here. No more acting like that. He's telling me, cussing me out, calling me names, trying to hit me with the bottle, swinging it at me. Finally, I grab him, and I set him down on his butt, very gently, and back up, because I know it's going to take him a long time to get up. He finally gets up. He said, no one's helping me out. I'm expecting the dad, which would be his brother, my lady's dad. I'm expecting my lady, someone to get involved here, but they're doing their own thing. They probably think it's funny. I'm like, so I set him down one more time on his butt, gently, and I leave. What I didn't know, what I didn't see coming at the bottom of the deck was somebody over at grandma's house in the backyard saw it take place and said, Splinter pushed him down. Splinter pushed our brother, our uncle down. Didn't see the people on the porch, just saw us out there, stirred the pot, had to know in their heart I didn't push him down, just wanted to start some trouble. So everyone got pissed off at me. This big old freaking lynch mob gathered and came after me. I had left. They came over, they showed up in a truck. Full of people in the front of the truck, full of people in the bed. Where's Splinter? They got rakes and hose. Someone had a water hose. I was told I didn't know if that was to squirt your blood off the driveway or to choke you with. Where's Splinter? He pushed down Uncle. The old lady and the dad's like, no, he didn't. You weren't even here. We saw it. He was hitting Splinter first. Splinter just set him down so he could leave. No, we want to get his ass. So they leave to look for me, and I come back. And my girlfriend tells me, hey, man, a lynch mob was here for you. They had all these assortments of rakes and hammers and saws and water hose even. They came for you. And I was like, what? Why? What do you mean? Because someone saw you set my uncle down. Someone pumped it up, said you pushed him. They made it a big deal. We tried to say no. We saw it. We were here. That's not what happened. They don't care. They're coming for me. And I was like, what? But it was April 1st. And I was like, oh, April's Fools. You're trying to April Fool's me. Aha, April Fool's. Nah, no one came. April Fool's. All right, April Fool's. She says, no, it's not April Fool's. I'm like, yeah, right. There's no way that happened. Okay, April Fool's. So we came back a couple hours later. That truck comes pulling up. I was like, snarf, it wasn't April Fool's? Snarf, they're really here for me? And they came, and they tried to beat, huff, and puff, and blow the house down. The doors were locked. They're all out there, armed. Come out here. No. I refuse. I will not. I will not come out this time. It does not benefit me. That's not what I wish to do. Charlie Holmes. So anyways, a whole big ordeal. They left, and I was like, damn, how'd I get in this position? Kind of funny, because a couple weeks later, I ended up in jail. I'm in county jail. The main dude, the instigator who came over, drove the truck, and he had the hoe the guy wanted to get me, he comes into jail. He's in the pod next to me. I hear he's there. It would have been proper. It would have been proper. It would have been the right thing to do. It would have been what expected of me since I know I'm to shoot him a kite. Hey, what's up, homeboy? I'm over here, this and that. But that's the last thing I'm going to do. So he could be like, oh, Splinter, you're over there. And tell people he did this and that to my brother. Push me. So I was like, great. I don't even want him to know I'm here because he's going to probably start up a bunch of crap. And there's no one here to defend me, to tell my side of the story, to say, no, Splinter didn't do that. It'd be his word against mine. It's like, snarf, how'd I get in this mess? I almost said wreck. It is kind of a wreck. I seen him at court a week later. I seen him first where he seen me, and I'm like this, and he's like, Splinter, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, what's up? What's up, dog? How you doing, boy? I'm pretty good. He's like, I've been over here for about a couple weeks next door to you. I go, I know. He goes, why didn't you shoot me a kite and say you were next door? I go, well, I don't know. Oh, my, I don't know. Well, why did you try to knock me down? Would be a better question. Why are you coming at me all aggressively over there? He's like, oh, yeah, I heard about it. Yeah. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Okay. Dude, I stole a truck. It was a dump truck. It was very nice. My uncle pulled it next to me. And I was like, hey, look at my dump truck. He's like, where'd you get that? I said, my friend let me drive it. He's like, no way, no one would let you drive anything that nice. I was like, that kind of hurts. So I can't have gas money. I had this dump truck. I ended up hiding the keys and going to jail. When I got out of jail, I went and got the keys. And I went over to where the dump truck at, and my homegirl lives next door. I stole her neighbor's truck. Leaving her house one day, I saw the keys and split in it. Drove around for a while, hid the keys. Went to jail, got the keys, come back. The keys no longer work. They changed the locks. I mean, smart thing to do, so I would have done as well. I give the keys to the girl. Lives next door to the house that has the truck that now has changed locks. So I was like, well, here's the keys to it. But they changed the locks. They no longer work. This other dude comes over. He starts trying to, she tells him, I got the keys to that truck. He starts trying to buy them off her. I get in the middle of it. Dude, no, you don't want to buy the key. He's like, Splinter. So this is between me and her. He thinks I'm trying to hate. I'm trying to tell him, dude, I'm the one that stole the truck, duh. And let me tell you real quick that the keys don't even work no more. She's trying to sell you some bogus stuff. I mean, it's like a white lie. She's half right. She does have the keys to the truck. They just don't fit. They would have fit like a year ago when I first stole it. Anyways, he's talking to her. Anyways, he dips out, offers to give me a ride. I think he's just trying to get rid of me so he could try to get that truck. And I was trying to, like, not let him buy it, trying to help him out. And he's like, you're hating. What a weirdo. Anyway, we go to his pad on the way to give me a ride, and my feet start itching. My feet start itching so bad. I used to get an allergic reaction to PIA socks. The socks in prison, you get brand new socks, you wash them, and you let them drip dry. And it says, I don't know, socks in prison. My feet, my dogs were barking. They would itch and hurt so bad. To the point I had this big knife, and I would, about every hour or two, take my shoes off and start scratching my feet. And just scratch. And I'm at his house, and I'm thinking, should I do that? No, I shouldn't. How embarrassing. I can't do that in front of one of the homeboys. Then I start thinking, well, I remember back in the day, someone tried to punk this dude on the farm. And we went into the barracks to have his back, and he backed all the way out of it and let us handle the business for him. Kind of made him look like a big old weenie. So I didn't forget that. So I'm like, maybe I can go ahead and scratch my feet in front of this dude. He ain't all that. My feet come first. So I did. I took out the shoes. I took out the socks. I broke out the knife, and I started scratching my feet real bad. And he goes, dude, what are you doing? Are you scratching your feet? And I said, no, I'm sharpening my knife. But dude, let me say this. Shout out to Derek and Angie for the car. I love it so much. It's a game changer. I haven't had a car since 2012. Let me tell you about the last car I had. Dude, I had this Rob Dyrdek. It was a Rob Dyrdek character skateboard figurine from the 80s in the package. Worth a lot of money. I took it to homeboy and I showed it to him. And then I forgot and got carried away and distracted, and I left it there. Went back, it was gone. He's like, I don't know what happened to it. And he had this $1,000 watch. I stole the watch. Bam. You know what happened to my Rob Dyrdek? I don't know what happened to your watch. So now I go sell the watch to this dude over here. He pays me half, and he owes me half. I can't find him. Give the rest of the money. I'm looking. So I'm all crazy in my head. I took these pills. I'm out of it. I know that he deals with this dude over here, but I don't know him. I just know that the dude that owes me money knows this dude. So I just barge in, don't even knock. I just walk in. I go, hey, what's up? Dude owes me money. Why don't you go ahead and pay his debt and squash it, and you can take it up with him later. And he was kind of like going, considering, because I think he was just so confused by the brashness of it all, at how big my nuts were to just walk in his house unannounced, start demanding he pay someone else's debt. I mean, he's ironing some clothes, and I was like, why don't you put that iron down for a second and talk to me? When I said that, he's like, you know what, man, fuck you. And I was like, fuck you, and we start fighting. And boom, next thing I know, we're on his couch, wrestling and fighting, and his roommate comes out and breaks us up. So I go outside. I remember sitting in his front yard. Here's my car, and I'm in his front yard, and he comes out, and I remember I squared off. But then I switched up like this. Once he saw I was ambidextrous, it really tripped him out, and he went to go pepper spray me. But he didn't get me. But I made him think he did. That way he'd think I was vulnerable. I was like, I want him to think he got me. I want him to think I was vulnerable, and I was blind, so that he would rush in. But he didn't. He just ran back in the house. So I was like, whatever. I got my car and started to drive off. But then the pepper spray did try to bother me a little bit. Then he came out with all these people and got in this car and started coming after me. When he was chasing me, that caused a good Samaritan who saw the whole thing to start chasing too, calling the cops. There's a chase, people are fighting. He threw a wrench, a badass Craftsman wrench through my back window too. Busted the window. I sold the wrench later for $40. I thought that's kind of cool. I wasn't really running from him. I was running from the good Samaritan who called the cops. When he broke my window, he drove off. I pulled over. Good Samaritan pulls up. Like, you okay? I was like, yeah, don't call the cops. I already did. They want to know if you're bleeding, if you're breathing, your name. I was like, I got no name. Get out of here. Leave me alone. So I go to the homeboy's house. Boom. Car blows up. It blows up. It has freaking broken window. Snarf. I ended up getting a ride home. This home. I was living here at the time. Been here 10 years. Just about when I first got here. Ended up getting a ride from some chick who drives a Tahoe here. She drops me off because my car was there in Oildale blowing up. The next day, after I get dropped off here, a bench that was out front comes up missing. You know, one of those benches out front? And my cousin, who I live with, starts flipping out and saying, your friend, whoever dropped you off last night, came back and stole the bench. I said, no, they didn't. They would never. Why would they? They don't care about that bench. They're like, no, they had to have. Isn't it a coincidence? They drop you off and the bench is gone. I said, well, not really. I don't see the coincidence at all. If you want to talk coincidence, man, I mean, I got you. Want to kick back for a minute? You want to hear about a $40 Craftsman wrench, like raining and breaking my window, and I selling it for like more than what the window's even worth? That's kind of quinky-dink. But I don't know, man. I do not know. What I do know is the merchandise dropped. Shout Dave 1503 OC. Shout out to Green Eye Gemini. Shout out to my Vice President Derek. Shout out to the Point of View crew. And the merch is fire, man. The merch is fire. I want to pair the sweatpants myself and a backpack. So, there's 2 designs now. There's 6 designs in all. They're going to be swapped out. Not making them all 6 available at once. The ones that are there now, probably not going to be there for long. They're going to be rotating. Get yourself some merch. It's a great Christmas idea. Anyways, I'm going to cut the string and let it fly. More videos tomorrow. Nothing but the most love and respect. Going to do a viewer's choice. Get those questions, comments, concerns ready. Start thinking about them. Shoot them out to me. That's how it works. Cut string and let it fly. Peace.